It was a Friday morning and Yugyeom was heading to work. He was the manager of a supermarket chain with 4 locations across South Korea. In Jeju, where he lived, he was a well-known young man. At just 29 years old, he had achieved success, though it never went to his head. The house he lived in was humble, and his car was an Audi. He was well-liked by his neighbors and popular among women his age, although he had never been linked to anyone romantically. A routine he followed on Sundays was that he could be seen at a yacht club in the harbor area. He learned about that club thanks to his friend Gray, but what he didn't expect was that day Gray would introduce him to a girl who had just joined, named Lisa, who was 2 years younger than the guys. Gray had met Yugyeom in preschool, and they became inseparable. The following Sundays, they met up with the girl again, and each time they left the place, Yugyeom felt his confidence with her growing. Not only that, but he began to develop feelings of love, which was all very new to him, as he had been raised to focus on studying and finding a job. These new sensations made him want to know more about Lisa's life. The following Sunday, when he went to the club, she was already there, and for the first time, he decided to sit at the same table, inviting her to have a drink. The conversation was very pleasant, and time flew by. Weeks passed, and feelings grew in Lisa that went unnoticed by Yugyeom. Their closeness evolved from sitting at a table to going for walks together and having conversations late into the night on WhatsApp. One weekend, when Yugyeom had to do some shopping, he invited Lisa. Without thinking twice, he called her, and upon answering the phone, she didn't hesitate to accept after learning his intentions. She left her house and headed to his, containing her excitement at sharing this experience with the guy her heart raced for. As they discussed their plans for the day and decided the best area to buy what they needed, they got into his car to head to the city center. Once there, they parked in a lot, and as they walked through the streets, they shared more about their lives. 2 hours later, they finished shopping and returned to his car to go back to his house, so she could pick up her car to go to hers. What he didn't expect was that, when saying goodbye, she would surprise him with a kiss. Instead of reacting badly, Yugyeom invited her to his house. She stayed the night after they had intimate relations. The next morning, they took the opportunity to have breakfast before heading to work. While having breakfast, they decided that from that day on, they would start a relationship and make it public. Overjoyed by their decision, he called Gray to meet him alone at the club since they had the keys as friends of the owner. Noticing the joy in his voice, Gray said he would make time to come. The moment arrived, and the friends found themselves in that place. They turned on the lights to illuminate it so they could see, but without giving the impression that it was open to the public. Once they did that, they settled down, with Gray sitting at the pool table in the middle of the venue and Yugyeom in a seat by a window. Once Gray sat down, he asked his friend the reason for the happiness radiating from him. Without delay, Yugyeom replied that the day of the call marked the start of a formal relationship between him and Lisa. His friend's reaction was delayed. Upon hearing that phrase, he nervously played with a pool ball before finally expressing his joy for Yugyeom's new situation and wishing him well. After that conversation, they moved on to the second topic of the day, which was the drugs they would be moving that weekend. That club was not just the local everyone knew. For 2 years, it had been the base of operations for the drug trafficking that the friends managed, and they were the bosses. Nobody knew their secret, as they pulled the strings in the shadows.